Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Versus Games League Challenge here in Oviedo, Florida. I'm Joe Carlino here for round 2, and wait a second. Are my eyes deceiving me? I've got the North American International Champion, Patrick Connors, right here with me, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick, what are you doing here?
I got to buy. I got nothing better to do. So
you got to buy? You got to buy?
I do. I got a buy round, so I wanted to spend it with my best buddy, Joe.
Oh man. Well, wait a minute. That means I'm your best buddy.
Oh, I tell that to everybody, so don't feel
special. Man. And here I was thinking I was special.
Oh, Joe, you are very special. You are Florida's #1 caster.
Well, I appreciate the kind words from Florida's #1 VGC player.
Well, we've got an incredible match from one of Florida's #1 VGC players as well, with another very interesting team against our local hero, Carey.
Yes, I mean, Carey D'Artona, man, he has been an absolute wunderkid right now in Regulation H, Regulation G. He's very much into Calyrex Shadow Rider, which I don't want to spoil it, but I think he's running Calyrex Shadow Rider today.
I think that Shadow Carey is definitely not switching it up for the local. I think he's trying to prove it to everybody that he is the best Shadow Rider player, not just our local scene, but in the circuit.
And we see he is battling Abdullah Sadiqe. I hope I pronounced that name right. And Abdullah's team, wow. This is incredible. Look at this team.
Absolutely incredible. We don't get to see Kyurem White very often. And on top of that, we get to see Ninetales and Cresselia, both Pokemon that I am very sure are definitely one and dones in this local and are not seen very often in any sort of major. So I'm very excited to see how Abdullah pilots this and how Abdullah approaches this more standard team and matchup.
Exactly. We do see that the Kyurem White, it is an Ice Terra to really add in the power of those blizzards that Alolan Ninetales' Snow Warning will activate. That also has Helping Hand and the Life Orb. That is just power on power on power, and you add in a Chi-Yu potentially in the back.
Absolutely. And Kyurem White, despite not being used very much, does have the highest special attack effective in the game currently. So I'm sure that the Helping Hand on top of the Terra Ice, on top of the Blizzard, is going to do absolutely incredible damage if Carey isn't prepared for it.
It's a shame you can't have the Helping Hand and the Beads of Ruin on top.
I know.
That would put more damage out than a Pikachu with a Light Ball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that Kyurem's almost there without the special Game Freak special I guess attention.
Yeah, for the most part.
Love, the mascot love.
Exactly. But as we do see on Carey D'Artona's side, there is a Shadow Rider.
Absolutely.
He is riding the Ghost Horse again. He's riding Spoopy Horse.
And notably, nothing on this team can outspeed Shadow Rider. And there's no speed control, I believe, as well. Except for Trick Room.
Except for okay, the Cresselia does have access to Icy Wind, so there is a way to do that. However, Cresselia is a Psychic type Pokemon.
Yeah.
Astral Barrage with the Life Orb and a potential Nasty Plot 2 on that Calyrex Shadow Rider. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure Cresselia does not like to take a Life Orb Astral Barrage.
I think that I could see Carey definitely leading Ogerpon Fire and CSR into this matchup and just trying to outmatch and outpace Abdullah's offense with great coverage with the Fire type and the Ghost type in Abdullah's team.
I would agree on that. And also we have to keep in mind, though, that the Alolan Ninetales, as we did mention, it has access to Aurora Veil, one of the most impressive moves to negate damage now it can only be used in snow, but it's a self-setting light screen and reflect at the same time. It's G-Max Resonance in a regular move.
Absolutely. And also, I missed this, but it is Scarf Chi-Yu, which does put on a lot of pressure against Carey, but notably not the Snarl. So he will be able to redirect any Dark-type moves with an Ogerpon.
And we do see it is Ogerpon and Urshifu Rapid Strike versus the Ninetales and the Kyurem. So the snow comes out. Now, what's also important to note, Patrick, is that with the snow up, the Ninetales and the Kyurem both have a 50% boost to their physical defense. That is a massive upgrade from the hail weather condition that we had for previous years.
Absolutely. And notably, the Urshifu's crit, the Surging Strike, does not go through the hail defensive boost.
It does not, and we do see a Terra coming out on the side of Carey. This Urshifu is
Stellar.
The Stellar Terra right off bat, as Urshifu will get a 20% boost to whatever move it clicks for the first time. But we do see the Ninetales is actually the fastest Pokemon in this battle, getting that Aurora Veil up on the first turn, and an Ivy Culture coming out into the Kyurem.
Not very much.
Potentially trying to think that it was going to be a Terra Ice to make it super effective, but we do see the Freeze Dry coming out, bringing Urshifu down to its Focus Sash here. Now Freeze Dry just have a chance. It gets the freeze! Oh my god, it froze the Urshifu!
Oh no, and I think that might have been in the Stellar range, the Stellar CC range. That's very unfortunate.
It is massively unfortunate, but we do see the freeze, and Urshifu stays frozen for this turn. That is a massive turn for Abdullah right there. He gets the freeze. If I remember correctly, I think it's what, 10 or 20% on freeze dry to get the frozen.
I believe it's 10%.
I believe, because I think that's actually the thing with freeze, is that it's
never higher.
It's never higher than 10%. Unless it's with Tri-Attack, because I think then it's like I think it's like 16% or something like that. It's like a weird number or whatever. But we do see the Terra Ice coming out on this Kyurem now. It is going to do massive damage with those blizzards.
Let's see if Carrie also targets the Kyurem again with the
we see a Thaw, a turn 1 Thaw.
Yeah, that's definitely clutch for Carrie. Keeps him in it.
He does keep him in it, but we do see the
Moonblast to protect, okay.
Okay, very impressive. Getting the Moonblast here onto the Urshifu to protect itself.
Does the Ogerpon outspeed? It does outspeed Kyurem. It's going to be bigger damage time with it being super effective, almost.
But not enough, and we do see the Blizzard come out here. This is going to do major damage.
I think this takes out the Ogerpon. I think this definitely, with all of the multipliers and the Life Orb, Terra Ice, I think that's... Oh, wow.
So
very
close.
bulky.
But a freeze on the Ogerpon! Oh my god, Ogerpon is frozen solid now!
2 for 2 on freeze attempts.
What is this Kyurem right now?
Absolutely working hard for Abdullah to get him just that little bit more of advantage.
Exactly here, but now Kyurem is in a very interesting position here, Patrick. It has 7 HP, and Carrie does have access to Aqua Jet on this Urshifu. He can essentially take out the Kyurem here, but he's probably going to lose his Ogerpon and the Urshifu to a Blizzard on this Ninetales.
But notably, Carrie does still have his restricted in the back, so that does allow Carrie to maintain momentum. But if Abdullah brought the Chi-Yu, the CSR is not able to Terra out of its dark weakness. So possibly, depending on how Abdullah brought in his back as well as Carrie, this could be a win for Abdullah. Oh, Carrie did not go for the Aqua Jet. That was a very smart play, knowing that Life Orb will take out the Kyurem White. So, okay, repositioning with the Fake Out, preserving the Urshifu.
And we do see the Intimidate coming out here, lowering the attack, and Ogerpon stays frozen. It did not go for something like a Spiky Shield there to potentially get a turn 1 Thaw out again, like Urshifu did.
Absolutely.
But this is going to be Life Orb, Terra Ice, Freeze Dry into this Incineroar here.
It's going to do big damage. Wow, yeah, for an Incineroar for a not very effective move, very impressive.
Could you imagine if Incineroar got frozen right there?
That'd be very unfortunate. Does Carrie have, I think Carrie does have Flare Blitz, at least 2 Thaw out of that, if that happens.
One of the few moves in the game that does allow you to thaw out.
There is no Chi-Yu in the back. There is a Chien-Pao to play mind games with the Sucker Punch and the Nasty Plot, but there is notably no Dark Pulse to immediately pressure the CSR if it is in the back.
And we do see Urshifu come back out onto the field here. Well, what's important to note here, though, Patrick, is that this Alola Ninetales is carrying the Covert Cloak. So Ninetales can go for an attack here into, say, the Incineroar or the Urshifu, but the snow is still up, as is that Aurora Veil.
Let's see what Abdullah does to try to convert this advantage. Carrie does have Fake Out pressure, but notably, like you said, there is a Covert Cloak to prevent it. And Ninetales is still the fastest Pokemon in the field. So the Blizzard could easily take out the 1 health Urshifu, and also does threaten a freeze onto Carrie's Incineroar. Let's see what Abdullah does to answer this Protect.
We do see a Protect come out on the Urshifu, a Blizzard coming out into the Incineroar. Again, a freeze is possible.
It is absolutely possible.
It is possible. Will it happen, though? It does! Oh my god, what is this game? That is 3 for 3 on freezes.
And the Thunderbolt confirmed, so that freeze did not matter, but that is very unfortunate for Carry.
Oh my god, what is this game? This Ninetales and Kyurem lead has frozen everything!
I think freeze might be a 50% chance. I think the game might have been programmed wrong.
It could be 50%, it could be 100%.
Who knows?
Oh my god. But we do see that it is the Calyrex Shadow Rider in the back. The snow is still up. The Aurora Veil is still up. But we do see that this is the last turn of Aurora Veil.
And notably, this is also an Assault Vest Raging Bolt, so CSR is going to have a lot of work to do to try to break through that. And it has Snarl to debuff.
Exactly. But we do see that Carry, realizing that the writing is on the wall, he has opted to cancel this battle. That was an incredible game one. Now,
Absolutely.
Granted, the freeze happens on everything. All of Carry's Pokemon essentially got frozen, with the exception of Calyrex, because it never got hit with a move to have a chance to get frozen.
Abdullah got the advantage quickly. Made sure to convert that luck into a very comfortable winning position. Carry recognizing that, moving on to game 2. Now let's see what Carry can do to adjust that lead. I don't see Abdullah adjusting much, just because that was such a dominant performance game 1. But let's see if Carry has any sort of answer or trick up his sleeve to match Abdullah's snow.
Exactly. Now, I did see this come out a couple days ago. Marcos Perez, as we know, he is a very good VGC player in, I believe, the Illinois area. I don't really know where Marcos.
I think he moved to New York actually recently.
Oh, if he moved to New York, then he's in the New York area. He posted a video about how sleep is the most broken status condition. I'm gonna submit for the defense Exhibit A on freeze being the most broken move of status condition, because we just saw 3 Pokemon get frozen, and that essentially turned the game for Abdullah.
Absolutely, and there's no comfortable counterplay on Carry's team to that freezing, except for the Flare Blitz on the Incineroar. Otherwise, Carry just has to play with luck. He has to hope that his Pokemon do not get frozen by Abdullah's moves. And Abdullah has plenty of ways to make that RNG more and more likely, with the double Blizzard and the freeze dry and multiple things to give him those chances. So very well constructed team by Abdullah. Let's see if Abdullah can convert this into a 2-0 win, or if Carry can make this a 3-game set.
Exactly here, because Carry has the pieces, he has the tools. It was just the way that the status conditions went. As we do see a sort of a switch up here. Instead of it being Ogerpon and Urshifu, it's Incineroar and Urshifu. So we can see a potential fake out here on this first turn.
Yeah, there is no Protect on the Kyurem White, so a fake out and a Parastellar close combat could confirm the KO. We did not get to see that roll, but I assume by Carry's game 1, that is what he is going for.
It is possible here, because the close combat will do major damage even through the snow, but the Aurora Veil, we did see that Ninetales was naturally faster than Urshifu in that first game. So even with the Stellar Terror, you're adding the Aurora Veil and the 50% snow boost. So this Kyurem's defense is essentially doubled, while Urshifu just gets a 20% boost on the Stellar Terror for 1 turn and loses its defense on top.
Absolutely. Let's see if Abdullah takes the chances and takes the damage and just lives another. Okay, Carry goes to the fake out. Did not Stellar, notably this time, preserving the Terra.
And we do see the Aurora Veil coming out here on the side of the Ninetales to get that defenses up, but we do see Kyurem is faster than the Urshifu. Also important to note.
Okay, about 50%.
Big damage on the close combat here, but more importantly, dropping the defense by a stage. Now Urshifu does have access to Protect, as we did see, so you could potentially double into the Incineroar slot here.
And there is an Earth Power as well on the Kyurem White that he could go for if he wanted to try to remove the Incineroar and remove Carry's ability to fake out.
Exactly. So now it's just a mind game here. What does Abdullah want to do? Does he want to call a Protect into the Urshifu and double into the Incineroar, thus removing Fake Out and Intimidate for something in the back like that Shen Pao?
Absolutely. I could definitely see Abdullah going for that, especially with such an aggressive team. Let's see how Carry answers.
We do see the Protect. We see the Protect on the Urshifu here, and Abdullah has opted to go for the Blizzard into the Incineroar slot here, as well as the Urshifu, just to break the Focus Sash. Will we see another? Is there another freeze? There's no freeze, but the Life Orb Earth Power does enough. Big damage on the Incineroar there, taking out the Incineroar with the double up and the Life Orb. But as you said, Patrick, Kyurem White that special attack is just massive.
Absolutely massive. And despite Incineroar being such a defensive staple, it cannot take a Earth Power from a base 170 special attack.
I don't believe so.
No.
I don't.
But CSR comes out for the first time. Let's see if it does something more than game one. This position is very interesting. CSR outspeeds both Pokemon, and it probably threatens a KO with an Astral Barrage. Let's see what Abdullah does to answer CSR's pressure.
We do see the Astral Barrage come out on the side of Carry. It will do big damage. It does knock out the Kyurem, bringing the Ninetales under 50% health, but more importantly, that Calyrex has just gotten its Grim Neigh off. It gets a +1 to special attack.
Going for the Blizzard. Let's see if Abdullah can connect with a... Oh, no, he went for a Moonblast.
He went for a Moonblast into the Urshifu.
Down to the Sash.
All right, bringing it down to Focus Sash once again. So Urshifu is down to just 1 HP for the remainder of the battle. There is the special attack drop, a 30% chance, but the Surging Strikes, ignoring the Aurora Veil and ignoring the Snow defense boost and getting those guaranteed critical hits and taking out the Ninetales. Carry has suddenly put himself in a favorable position with taking out the Kyurem and the Ninetales right now.
Now let's see what Abdullah has back. Same back from game one, the Raging Bolt and the Qianbao, both of which have dark type coverage for Carry CSR, and the Snarl could debuff and keep the CSR from running away with the game, as well as the resistance on the Qianbao. Let's see how Carry answers these two in the back.
And what's also important to note here, Patrick, is that Urshifu will go down to just about any attack here, but Qianbao also gets the same snow buffs as Kyurem and Alolan Ninetales on top of that Aurora Veil. Calyrex is in a very interesting position here because you could theoretically go for a Snarl, knock out the Urshifu, and just double up into the Calyrex here. But what if Calyrex protects?
That is true. Let's see if Abdullah makes a middle ground play. It seems like he did with the Snarl play. So Carry is sitting with his CSR. Let's see if he protects or attacks. Respects the Qianbao and the Raging Bolt.
And we do see it is Ogerpon in the back, and there is a protect on the side of Calyrex Shadow here, and we do see the Ice Spinner. It did go into the Calyrex slot.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense to play around with the Nasty Plot. He wanted to get the guaranteed damage with the Spinner. If CSR decided not to protect and decided to Nasty Plot to play the Sucker Punch mind games, it was a very good middle ground play from Abdullah. But this Ogerpon notably is able to redirect attacks from Qianbao and from Raging Bolt, and Raging Bolt cannot do much damage to this Grass Fire type Ogerpon.
It cannot. However, what's important to note is that Carry, I believe, still has access to his terrestrialization here, and if he terras something like the Ogerpon here, now we do see the Terra Orb coming out on Carry's side, and it is into the Calyrex. It's going to be a normal type now. So now Snarl is now 4 times super effective, and Sucker Punch is not 4 times super effective, but it does turn Sacred Sword into a super effective move.
No protects from either side. Carry gets the Astral Barrage off. Notably, that Assault Vest and that Aurora Veil is coming in clutch to keep that Raging Bolt. Carry did not follow me. Carry allowing the CSR to take damage, and the Ivy Cudgel to confirm KO to Qianbao. Now it is a Raging Bolt against the world, but notably, everything is very, very low health, except for the Ogerpon, Draco, and it misses.
And it missed the Ogerpon. That is where the ultimate unfortunate happens there. By losing out on Draco Meteor, this Calyrex, it has the ability to go for a +1 single target Astral Barrage.
Absolutely.
However, there is the Thunderclap that you could potentially run into the Calyrex here, but if Ogerpon
respects that with the follow me.
Exactly, and let's also see if Abdullah tries to go for the Thunderclap, maybe just thinking, okay, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't happen.
Absolutely. That Draco miss was unfortunate for Abdullah. It put him into a position that was possibly winnable to nearly unwinnable. And Carry does make the safe play, follow knees, and I believe that Calyrex Shadow Rider is about to let off a +1 Astral Barrage single target into the Raging Bolt. And that confirms the KO.
And that will allow Carry to force a gain 3 here. And we also forgot to mention there was a Life Orb on. Life Orb +1. A lot of boosts on the Calyrex there. But more importantly, Carry managed to go around the snow. He weathered the snow. And at least for game 2, the cold didn't bother him anyway. Why did I just use that line?
I think you should just let it go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, so now let's see if Abdullah stuck to the same game plan with game 1. Carry made the switch up, bringing the same 4, but leading with Incineroar. Let's see if Abdullah makes an adjustment to respect Carry's lead adjustment. And this game 3 is very close. These matchups seems very, very even. And Abdullah and Carry are both playing very, very well.
I agree, because if we look at how Abdullah played games 1 and 2, now those 4 Pokemon he had, they did well in both games. Now game 1, it definitely helped out with the freezes.
Absolutely.
Game 2, the Draco Meteor Miss definitely hurt. He could have even protected on the Chen-Pao, and if the Draco Meteor hits, then you have the Ogerpon potentially down, or you have Ogerpon potentially could live. There was no booster energy on the Raging Bolt. There was no photosynthesis activated either. So you're basically running a risk there that Raging Bolt could knock out with Draco Meteor. Now, Ogerpon does have a decent special defense stat. Whether or not it can live a Raging Bolt Draco Meteor, that's another story.
Absolutely. I do not know my AV Raging Bolt calcs, but I would not be very surprised if that Draco Meteor could confirm the KO at that range with a little bit of damage. Let's see if this game is more in Carry or Abdullah's favor, or is it very even RNG-less set, but we have not seen a lack of RNG yet in any of these games.
We have not seen a lack of RNG just yet. Game 1, it was all about the freezes. Game 2, it was all about the accuracy, and that's why we know if a move is not 100% accurate, it is 50% accurate.
And that has definitely been the case for both of these players. Carry, notably, I do not believe has an inaccurate move on his team except for his own Draco Meteor, which I do not see him bring into this game.
I don't see him bringing it either, because the 4 Pokemon that he has brought both games, he brought the Urshifu, Incineroar, Calyrex, Shadow, and Ogerpon. They worked out well, and we do see another switch up here. It is the Incineroar and Calyrex Shadow Rider for game 3, but another switch up on Abdullah's side. It's Raging Bolt and Kyurem White.
That makes a lot of sense from Abdullah, covering for the Urshifu lead that was shown by Carry both games. It was pressuring the Kyurem White so much. And it also allows him to debuff the CSR if the CSR is led. So let's see what Abdullah and Carry do in this new board state that they have not arrived at yet.
Exactly. So by looking at this play here, Incineroar does have free reign to go for a fake out into something, and Calyrex could potentially set up with that nasty plot, get it to +2 with that life orb. But it all comes down to what did Carry go for? Where did he fake out? Because if he fakes out correctly, that helps him out. If he fakes out wrong, that could help out Abdullah.
Absolutely. And Carry does lock in the Terra Normal, so he is not weak to the Snarls. It turns a 4-time super effective Dark move into a neutral move. Carry fakes out the...
And gets a critical hit on the fake out as well. And there's the nasty plot off rip. So Carry predicts the Kyurem going for the fake out. And we do see the Snarl come out. It does hit, but we do see that it is now +1 on the Calyrex. However, there is no Aurora Veil up. I'm no expert, but I don't think a Kyurem White can live a +1 Life Orb Astral Barrage without a Veil up.
Let's see what Carry locks into this game. Carry does have some interesting options here. Will Carry defensively protect the Calyrex Shadow Rider and reposition with a Parting Shot into an Ogerpon to further protect the Shadow Rider? Or will Carry go full offense and try to confirm a KO immediately? And as Abdullah just showed, he did make the Chi-Yu adjustment.
He did bring...
Yes, absolutely. That could be another option for him to go into. I would not be surprised if a Terra Electric Thunderclap with a Chi-Yu on the field could do great damage to that CSR. Carry does just go for damage.
He goes for the raw Astral Barrage at +1 with the Life Orb.
Oh,
Kyurem lives! That is massive, and we do see the Earth Power coming out into Incineroar.
Great call from Carry, and it survived.
Incineroar survived, though. That's massive, because by Incineroar surviving, it can go for something like a knockoff or a Parting Shot into the Raging Bolt, and it is Parting Shot.
Absolutely. And notably, game 1, or game 2, whenever Abdullah did go for the Earth Power, that little bit of Blizzard Chip from Ninetale probably put it into range for the Incineroar to take that KO. Very good job from Carry, knowing his calculations and knowing that without that Blizzard Chip, that Incineroar would survive and allowing it a free Parting Shot and the switch into the Ogerpon, now allowing him to further protect his CSR.
And we do see that Ninetales is in the back, but we also do see the Chi-Yu is making an appearance on the field. It is the Choice Scarf variant, like you said, so it will lock itself into whatever move it chooses for the first turn of this battle. And if it's someone like a Heat Wave, that could be big. However, that's a 90% accurate move on both targets, and I don't know if Calyrex can survive with this range.
Maybe Carry will scout with a Protect to see if it could survive this move. Abdullah locking into, I believe, Dark Pulse, not going for the chance to miss. Let's see what Carry does to answer this Chi-Yu that does outspeed the pressure.
We actually see it's a spiky shield coming out on the Ogerpon here. And it is a Dark Pulse into the Calyrex, and it does knock out the Calyrex. Calyrex is down, the Terra is down, the horse is down on Carry's side.
Absolutely interesting play from Carry, but given that play, I would not be surprised if Carry does have the Urshifu in the back to take out that Chi-Yu now that it's locked to a Dark Pulse, especially with the Focus Sash impact.
And it is the Urshifu in the back for Carry. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you could go for the Draco Meteor into the Ogerpon, but you are -1 on the Ogerpon. That's where you have a very interesting situation here, and you're locked in the Dark Pulse. You let that Urshifu go for an attack here, Chi-Yu is most likely going down.
I think the Raging Bolt is as well in close combat range. So there is a lot of pressure coming off from this Focus Sash Raging Bolt, and it could be protected by the Chi-Yu if following and not taking it down to a Sash if Abdullah decides to go for a Thunderclap or any other quicker pressure. So let's see what Carry goes for now.
We do see the Follow Me come out on the Ogerpon to
see how
redo.
Carry targets.
And it will be a Surging Strikes into the Ninetales.
Very interesting.
And again, we do see that even with the snow buffs, it ignores that 50% defense boost, and Ninetales has gone down to just under 50% right off of one attack. But here comes the Draco Meteor. It does hit the Ogerpon, and a critical hit! The critical hit ignoring the -1 on the parting shot and takes out Ogerpon in one hit!
Absolutely unfortunate luck for Carry, but great job by Abdullah finding that switch to protect the Chi-Yu and also to get that Draco off with the Raging Bolt. But the game is not over. Carry still has that Incineroar, that fake out pressure, and Abdullah does have to answer that fake out. And let's see what he decides to lock into.
He does have to answer that, but you also have to wonder with the Incineroar at low health, potentially going into it would have been the smarter play here. As we do see a Moonblast come out into the Urshifu, doesn't bring it down to Focus Sash, but a Surging Strikes comes out, and it will take down this Ninetales with 3 guaranteed critical hits because Urshifu has mastered the way of water.
Absolutely.
And funnily enough, ice is just water. So Urshifu really has mastered how to master ice.
Now, this is a very tricky position for Carry to be in. We have a full health Chi-Yu and a low health Incineroar and Urshifu with not many answers for Carry to try and win this set. And Abdullah still does have Terra, so even an Aqua Jet. Oh, is it Terra Fire? Yeah, Terra Fire.
And we do see the Aqua Jet come.
Crit? Oh.
It does not crit, but Aqua Jet was the smart play to potentially avoid the Thunderclap, but it does not matter. Chi-Yu with a Heat Wave, it hit both targets and a double critical hit!
I do not think those critical hits mattered, but very well played by Abdullah. Good job converting his advantages and converting the positive one. And very good job by Carry to try to adjust and match such an aggressive and high-pressure team.
That was an incredible round 2 by Abdullah and Carry. What a finish, too.
Absolutely.
Just getting that Heat Wave down. The critical hit on Draco Meteor. Again, we understand that critical hits, they can literally make or break a battle.
Raging Bolt had to make up for that game 2 miss. It wanted to make its trainer happy.
I believe it definitely did, and it took its nice long giraffe neck and it dropped Meteors down, and they just crashed into Ogerpon, and unfortunately its mass couldn't defend itself enough.
Absolutely. I think that Raging Bolt was the dragon type that took away game 3 and won the set for Abdullah, and it was not Kiram White, so that was very, very impressive play by Abdullah winning the game despite losing his restricted so early.
Exactly, you are correct. That Earth Power also, you did notice that Incineroar lived, but the Blizzard chip probably was enough in game 1 to get that KO on Earth Power. That just shows how good carry is with Incineroar and why it's Wolf Glick's favorite Pokemon.
Absolutely. Incineroar is the bastion of consistency, but sadly, Incineroar could not match the special attack and offensive prowess of Kyurem White.
Unfortunately, it could not, but in the
very, very well played by Abdullah.
For both trainers with a Life Orb restricted Pokemon, having the amount of damage that they did just showcased how good these trainers are. And we still have 2 more rounds left.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can have a rematch with these 2 players in Top Cut. We'll be expecting them both to continue playing well and bringing both of these teams to their best performance as possible.
Now, one final thing before we leave. On the positive, we did get to see a Kyurem White. We did get to see a Kyurem White. On the negative, we didn't get to see a Cresselia.
That is
true. We didn't get to see Cresselia. It's a shame, though, that we can't see Darkrai, though.
Oh, I know. It would be wonderful if it was allowed, but...
of course, though, Darkrai, it can't even use Dark Void because Dark Void is just a very bad status move.
Probably best for the game.
Agreed to disagree on that. I believe that by then removing it from Smeargle, yes. By lowering it to 50% on Darkrai, no.
Maybe it'll make Wide Guard even more popular in these restricted formats than it already is.
Or even in a mythical format, as we did at the end of Sword and Shield. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break. Patrick, it was such a blast to cast with you for round 2, man.
Absolutely.
Guys, please stick around. We will be back with round 3 after this short break.